So I just want to say before I even begin to post this video and list a couple things that I don't like about this car, that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like this car. I don't think I've ever owned a car that I loved 100%. Every car has its little flaws. That's all I really consider these to be flaws. Some of them can't be fixed. Some of them can over time, I guess, be swapped out, changed, upgraded, updated. So it's not like this car is shot or not good or any of that stuff. I love it. This car is perfectly fine. Everything's been going great with it. I have no issues. But, you know, in order for me to post a video about what I like or love, I actually have to post something, you know, about what I don't like. I gotta be fair. So that's all this is. And, you know, hopefully I don't get too much hate for it. You know, you're gonna get the die-hard Scat Pack or SRT or Charger or Dodge brand people. Me personally, I'm not all about the Dodge life or any life. I'm all about nice cars. That's every make, model, brand except for Camaro. That's all. Goodbye. So we're just gonna jump into my first dislike slash hate thing, little love-hate relationship with this car. This little one, you know, it happened the second day I got the car, so I figured I would cover this one first. If you look, that brake pedal can go kiss someone's ass, alright? I'm not happy about it. That was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to put on a car. It makes no sense. The gas pedal went on without a problem, and all of a sudden, you know, they give you these brake pedal and gas pedal covers in the trunk, and they're like, oh hey, you can put it on. Who wouldn't want that on a performance-based car from factory? So why couldn't they just put this on from stock and not have to have us heating parts up in hot, warm water and sitting there like schmucks in the driveway doing that? My neighbors were looking at me. I had a little thing of water, a little Tupperware, and I've got a brake pedal part in there. I looked like a complete idiot. And you know, honestly, even that didn't work that well. I was still struggling. And I'm a pretty strong guy. My fingers were hurting. I couldn't muscle that on that well. Maybe, you know, I don't know what the hell it was, but it won the battle of the minds. And that's number one. So this next complaint, it pretty much tops a lot of the lists, and it's very self-explanatory. There's no reason that you should put 245 size tires on a car that has nearly 500 horsepower from factory on the rear of this car. I can understand the front. Even then, I would have liked 255s, you know, maybe a little better, but the backs on this car should have had, at a minimum, 275s or higher. I had my Mustang, my GT, it had 255 in the front and 275 in the back. So you're telling me Dodge couldn't match that? I don't understand that. And I believe the Daytonas are getting upgraded tires, which is kind of like a slap you in the face to the Scatty owners. But you know what? Whatever. A lot of us are going to be upgrading this, and that's going to be one of my next mods. But that's ridiculous, and that's definitely something that causes me great concern, especially when I want to hit the happy pedal and the car's like blah, 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 all over the road, and I'm like, yeah, really, where the hell's the rubber? Now, I covered this in a previous video, but I never really listed it as something that I hate. But coming from somebody with some pretty moderate OCD, this is absurd. There's no reason that there should be paint defects on this car, especially on a premium type color like this. I don't see how this should happen, and it's such a widespread problem that it's just like, who really dropped the ball when it came to this body style, and why is there so much of an issue? I just don't get that, and I'm gonna go around and try to find a couple other ones to show you. There's a couple where it's like there's things underneath the clear coat that's just unacceptable. What did somebody like blow their freaking nose while they were painting the car? I don't understand. I'm not sure how crazy a lot of my viewers are, or if they're as crazy as me. There we go. But if you really walk around and check this paint out, you're gonna notice spots like this. And for someone like me that details cars, this sticks out like a sore thumb, and it just pisses me off, because I was wiping the car down one day about a week after owning it, and I thought something was on top of the paint, and I got closer to it, and that's underneath the clear coat. That mark is underneath the clear coat. So something happened at the factory, and that's not even the only spot. I can't remember off the top of my head, because I think I'm trying to block it out so I don't have myself a stroke, but that's ridiculous. And you know, I would say that this is definitely high up there on my list of things that pisses me off. I'm gonna show you another little spot. You know, just as one final example, this is the one that pisses me off the most. It's difficult to see a little bit, but on the rear, this is the point where the rear bumper touches the panel. There's paint missing here. Look at this. Like, really? There's, again, something underneath the clear coat. There's marks. There's like, I don't understand. And there's other marks here that you can't see because, again, my camera it's allergic to bad things. So I'm gonna have to touch up that with some paint. Really, that's just unacceptable. This one's kind of silly in a way, but here's my problem. This car, they offer you the tech package, so I believe it's like a $2,000 option, right? So basically what they make you do is pay $2,000. Now, the one part of the tech package I didn't want was that ugly camera on the bottom grille. I didn't want that in the front of the car. I didn't think that it was necessary. I didn't like it. I wanted a complete bottom part of the grille. That's just a preference, right? So for me to have HIDs on this car, I would have had to have that package. Now, at one point I was like, alright, I'll just deal with that, because obviously I wanted the HIDs. So I was looking around. By the time I was actually interested in this car, and I knew about it, and I knew about the color, and I began my search, Dodge had decided to replace B5 Blue with that mango color, which personally isn't something I wanted. You know, no knocking against that color, I just didn't want it. I was looking for this color. This is the one I wanted, or purple, but you know, I don't see why they couldn't just include the HIDs on this car as a standard option. There's no reason why they had to bundle that into the tech package. I just don't see it. Or they could have offered it as a different option. HIDs could have been bundled up into something else that didn't involve that camera on the bottom. I don't understand why. You know, that's not for everybody. And $2,000, honestly, just to get HIDs, that was kind of not worth it. I do plan on adding them later on, but I'm just kind of disappointed that they it didn't come as a standard option. Okay, so I'm gonna get into another little thing that I can't stand about this car. And to be honest with you, I've had this feature on previous vehicles. It's something I expected to have on here. It's not a big deal because there is a runaround of it, but when you offer a system in the car and it's something that you're touting as it's gonna work, and you know, you actually give an icon for it, as you can tell, Pandora, that's where my problem is, okay? For instance, I have the Uconnect app. I don't want to focus. I have the Uconnect app. Everything's fine. I have everything on here where everything's set up, and I have my account linked for Pandora. So everything's fine. Theoretically, this should work, but it never does. I've honestly, and I mean this, I've had this work maybe once or twice by the grace of God. So everything's open. Pandora is open on my phone. Everything's linked. The app's open. It says waiting to connect via mobile apps or whatever. So it goes through this whole shenanigans where it's like logging in, please wait. So you sit here like a schmuck and you're like, alright, I'm gonna wait. The back of your mind, you're kind of like, I know what's gonna happen though. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So yeah, Access app must be downloaded to the connected smartphone and logged in. Yeah, it's logged in. It never works. You could go through setup, you could go through all of these different things, and I'm telling you, it's like this widespread problem, and it's total bullshit. I don't understand why it doesn't work. I had a couple different updates to the Uconnect app, and one actually worked once or twice. It was still sketchy at best, but it actually did work. Then they updated it again, and this wasn't that long ago. It was the latest update. I've been checking and checking, like hoping and praying that this would work because it seems like such a cool feature. You know, I like the idea of having Pandora on my car. I mean, granted, I use Spotify a little bit more than Pandora, but I use both, to be honest with you. There's no reason why it should be like this. So, you know, this is a bullshit. It's a bullshit fail. There's really no reason why I can't have the Uconnect app. I mean, obviously it's a fail because it's a complaint, me complaining about Pandora. That's fine. But it's overall in general a complaint about the Uconnect app. The Uconnect app is a bunch of bullshit and I don't like it. Here's a fun little complaint. What the hell are these little tiny midget nubs doing where there should be a real shift paddle? What is this? Really, what the hell is this? Here's my problem. How are you gonna put these like big shifters on the SRTs and the Hellcats? But you know, you're gonna give us the engine, you're gonna give us the transmission and everything, but you're not gonna give us the shifters? The freaking paddle shifters? Really, I can understand the steering wheel. That's fine, that's different. It is a different branded car. But you can't give us paddle shifters that are like, all in all, like maybe that much bigger with a tiny bit of a different shape. The amount of money that would cost extra is just stupid. It's so small. It's a minuscule amount of money difference for you to put that in there. And it would have made a big difference. It would have made the interior look cooler. You know, it's not like we're asking for everything SRT. And yeah, I'm going to get some people that are saying, oh, well, you should have bought an SRT. No. To be honest with you, I bought a $50,000 car and I expected a little bit more of $50,000 worth of parts. And that's not $50,000 paddles. No, not at all. I'm pissed. You can't get a really good grip. What am I supposed to do? Tap this with like the tip of my pinky? Am I supposed to just the tip of it? Just the tip? Just the tip? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Because if you try to get a manly size grip on this, there's buttons behind there. Really. There's buttons to change settings on the radio and all this other stuff. So, you know, if I want to aggressively shift, I've done it before. I've hit the paddle. I don't have small hands. So what is this for? Like a little tiny like horse jockey that's driving the car? Is that what this is for? I know I'm doing a little video showing you the engine bay. Yes, this is where I want to be right now. Because when we bought these cars, we bought it for a big honkin' tonkin' 6.4 liter V8. This is what we wanted from this car. This is why we spent the money we spent. This is why we drool every time we drive. This is a great engine, we love it, right? So why do you force this MDS crap on us? I don't want to be force-fed a 4-cylinder mode, alright? I understand it's great for gas mileage. That's awesome when I'm on a long trip and stuff, but what I'm saying is, put a button to disable it. If I'm in regular mode, say I don't want to be in sport or track or eco, if I don't want to be in any mode, I just want to be in regular mode without shifters, nothing, it's like a rainy day and I just don't want to deal with anything and I just want to cruise, right? Now, I'm just driving along and all of a sudden the car has to kick into dummy mode. I didn't buy this car for that reason. If I had issues about gas mileage, I would have got a freaking Honda Civic or a freaking economy car. Or if I really wanted to spend money, I would have got a damn Tesla or something. I bought a car with a real V8. I don't want this 4-cylinder crap. And, you know, the only way for me to get rid of that is if I tune it out or something. So, I gotta spend money to get rid of this. You could have had a button or an option where it disables it. That's all I'm saying. It's so simple. So as you can see, this is my final complaint. It is something that this car should have came from factory with some kind of option. I read about it and I heard some kind of nonsense about some kind of belly pan or something with the body style of the car. But the Challenger, you know, obviously comes in an automatic and a manual option. And I just can't get over how badass this car would be. I mean, obviously it probably wouldn't sell as much, but I mean, there's still the option. Why not the option? You know, even if it's a matter of, okay, we're going to produce a certain amount of these, but if you do want it, it's going to be a 6-week to 8-week to 12-week wait. Some of us would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with that, to be honest with you. To have the option of a manual transmission in a sedan, I think kind of would have made this car perfect. For me, it would have made this car perfect. I would have loved to sit here in this big boat of a sedan rowing through some gears, and you couldn't tell me different. That's it. I would have just been pumped about it. The fact that it's not here, it disheartens me. Coming from, you know, a line of manual transmissions before this, I've always had it, and I'm sure once I get bored of this car in the next year, 2, 3 years, I never keep my cars that long. I have no loyalties whatsoever. I'm sure once I get rid of this car, hands down, the next car will be a manual. Don't get me wrong, this shifter is amazing. This 8-speed is amazing. It's quick, and there's no way a human is gonna outshift a computer. Hands down, straight line, it is what it is. But for fun's sake, for drivability, for feeling like you're a part of the car, like you're in control of the car, manipulating noises better, and I don't know.